All right then. In Judo Taiso's next movement, it's again one of the movements that only exists in these early forms from the early 50s. Mr. Tomiki is demonstrating a very small hip switch with a lateral component, which is very interesting. If you observe closely, you'll note that basically he's facing the camera as he executes this. He opens the hip and turns and then makes a slight movement of the feet so that they're square. That's immediately followed with a lateral turning hip right back. So I basically turn away from you, let the back foot close, immediately swing back in with this arm swinging in this lateral plane, and reset. So it's a very tight, short hip switch, and it takes place in this flat dimension, this way. Normally, when we work at arm's length, we've found that the lateral dimension is very weak. If I'm trying to deliver energy out here at arm's length to Damon with my hip, boom, in this line, he can stop this pretty readily. He can, he can overcome that, boom. If I'm going to deliver energy in the this arm's length dimension, the hips work much better if they flow through these curves, if they go down and up. However, when you're really close to a person, when you're in a tight grappling condition, this sort of curving action doesn't serve you nearly as much as the lateral action. And these little tight actions of turning deliver energy in these lateral planes far more effectively. You can see an application of this. I just sort of demonstrate simply that as the man's coming, if I make just a little action here and then reverse him with the hip, you get something that basically just shrugs him off. We'll do it in this line. I'm turning away and changing back. Now the hands are lining up basically as you would see for an inside coil here. This is an action that actually takes place from a bear hug in the Goshin Jitsu kata. The man stepped around you to bear hug you, you brace off, and then come up under this arm. But place it in dynamic play, tight turn, and change, kind of useful in this little dynamic short hip switch type action. So basically what I think is communicated to me here is that when you're doing the large hip switches, you have these planes where the action falls and rises down and up, because we're going to do the regular hip switch later, this one. And when you're in this tight little plane, everything's happening in a closed condition. It's happening in a much more lateral plane here. And it's delivering the energy square to his feet. Great for when they're grappling tight with you, they're clumped up on you, and everything's getting very tight. But two different transmissions of energy for two different conditions. Thank you.